Welcome to The Explainer. In the FinTech world, you can have this absolutely brilliant product, and it can still be completely invisible when you launch it. Why? Well, because the market is just so incredibly saturated. So today, we're not just going to talk about marketing in general. No, we're going to break down the actual blueprint for getting seen and heard, creating content that, let's be honest, both search engines and your actual customers just can't ignore.
All right, so here's our game plan for today. First up, we'll dig into why you might be invisible right now. Then, we'll lay out the blueprint for success. After that, we'll talk about creating content that actually converts, how to amplify your voice so people hear you, and finally, we'll peek into the future of FinTech marketing. Let's dive right in.
Okay, first up, why your FinTech is invisible. Look, the simple truth, the FinTech market is just packed. It's crowded. And because you're digital first, that means you're not just competing with the company down the street. You're competing with everyone, everywhere, all at the same time. It's a lot of noise. So the real question is, how do you even begin to stand out from that crowd?
And that right there, that's the core challenge, isn't it? It feels like this sea of digital noise where every single brand is shouting for attention. So how does your brand get heard? Well, here's the secret. It's not about trying to shout louder than everyone else. It's about being smarter. The answer is building a really powerful SEO strategy that doesn't just push your message out, but actually pulls customers in.
So that brings us right to our next section, your blueprint for success. A really solid strategy, it isn't just a random list of things to do. It's a foundation. It's the groundwork. So let's take a look at the core pillars that are going to support every single thing you build on top of it.
Okay, so everything, and I mean everything, in your strategy rests on these three pillars. First, you have to know your audience. I mean, really know them. Second, you've got to master your keywords, the actual words they're typing into Google. And third, and this one is so crucial, you have to understand user intent. That's the why behind their search. You get those three things lined up perfectly, and your content starts doing the heavy lifting for you.
And knowing your audience in FinTech, wow, that goes deep. It's about understanding these really big generational divides. You've got, say, tech-savvy millennials. And what are they looking for? They want innovative, seamless banking solutions. Then you have older generations, and they're seeking something totally different. Secure, trustworthy investment platforms. The language is different, the core motivation is different, and your content has to speak to each of them in their own language. It's not a one-size-fits-all game. And this idea leads us perfectly into user intent. This is the big one. It's the difference between knowing what people are searching for and understanding why they're searching for it. What's their goal? Are they just trying to learn something? Are they trying to find a specific website? Or are they ready to buy? Matching your content to that specific goal is the magic trick. It's how a simple search query transforms into an actual new customer.
All right, Section 3, creating content that converts. So our foundation is solid. The pillars are in place. Now, we get to start building the good stuff. We're moving way beyond just getting clicks for the sake of clicks. We're talking about creating real assets that take someone who's just curious and turn them into a loyal customer.
And it's really important to remember that not all content is created equal. You need a strategic mix, kind of like a toolkit. You've got your engaging blog posts. These are fantastic for informational value, for building that trust. Then you have data-driven infographics. They're awesome because they're so easy to share. And of course, high-impact video. There's just no better way to get and hold someone's engagement. Each one plays a different, vital role.
Moving on to Section 4, amplifying your voice. Look, creating amazing content is a huge accomplishment, for sure. But it's only half the battle. It's that old question, right? If you write the best blog post in the world and nobody reads it, does it even matter? So now we have to talk about distribution and, just as importantly, measuring what's actually working.
And when we talk about measuring, I want you to forget about the vanity metrics. Things like raw page views. They can make you feel good, but they don't pay the bills. Real success boils down to these key performance indicators, these KPIs. Traffic. That tells you how many people you're reaching. Engagement shows you if they actually care about what you're saying. But conversion, that's the bottom line.
That's what tells you if your content is actually driving your business goals.
So, how do you drive that meaningful traffic? Well, it's all about smart distribution channels. This isn't just about blasting your content everywhere. No, you tailor it for each social media platform to boost that SEO. You use really personalized email marketing to nurture those relationships. And you build incredible authority and reach by collaborating on things like guest posts. It's a multi-pronged attack.
And that brings us to our final section, the future of FinTech marketing. Because let's be real, in an industry that moves this fast, what works today might be totally obsolete tomorrow. Staying ahead of the curve isn't just a nice to have, it is a fundamental survival skill.
I mean, just look at the conversation right now. As this quote says, blockchain and cryptocurrencies are at the absolute forefront of every FinTech discussion. And here's the opportunity for you. By creating clear, authoritative content on these complex topics, you do way more than just get traffic. You position yourself as a trusted guide in what can be a really confusing space for a lot of people.
So you absolutely have to keep your eyes on these emerging trends. Think about AI and machine learning. They're going to power hyper-personalized content we can't even imagine yet. The rise of blockchain and crypto? The need to explain this stuff simply is only going to get bigger. And this last one is non-negotiable, a mobile-first design. That's not a feature anymore, folks. It's the price of entry. This is the future you have to be ready for.
So I'm going to leave you with this final thought. Your content is built for today? That's great. But is it ready for the financial world of tomorrow? Because in FinTech, standing still is the exact same thing as falling behind. A powerful content strategy isn't a project with a finish line. It's a process of constant, relentless evolution. So the real question isn't, do you have a strategy? It's, are you ready to evolve with it?